Parental discretion is advised.
This week on the Wrestling Mayhem Show, we talked to indie superstar Gary J. We remember Big Van Vader and his 3 hours of Raw. Too much or not enough? Stay with us.
Just wait, just wait, just wait, just wait. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Don't give up what you want, take it back. Wait for the perfect time.
Fucking number, whatever it is, Wrestling Mayhem Show of that number. It's gonna be fucking incredible. I'm DJ Lunchbox, kicking this shit off with my glowy Dalek friend in the background, Dalek Alpha. Fucking behind the boards, the host with the most, Lord High Master of the Wrestling Mayhem Show is Sorgatron.
That's me.
Bang.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, are we actually starting?
We are now, and there's
Yes,
Chachi on the couch. Welcome. He's eating
I have
something.
food in my mouth.
All right.
I thought this was one of his many, like, 13 false starts.
You would think so, but you'll have to watch Gold to know what that means.
Wow.
Also with us is
Wrestlefan.
from Corpus Christi, Texas. How you doing, sir?
Indeed, I am doing great. I was kind of thrown off, so I don't know what to say for my intro, so yeah.
Hey, Wrestlefan.
Yes, Chachi.
I'm following you on Twitter again.
Yay! You made my day better.
This is the Wrestling Mayhem Show. We got a wonderful interview scheduled for later on with Gary J. of Anarchy Championship Wrestling, amongst others.
Who has the
Great
greatest
stuff.
Twitter name ever?
Greatest with Twitter name of Stiff Robo Ginger, so go check that out. But in the meantime, this is your Wrestling Mayhem Show 324. You can check us out at WrestlingMayhemShow.com. Tweet us at Mayhem Show. Please tag this show, hashtag WMS324, of course. You can drop us a line on the emails to
Good time.
Good times at WrestlingMayhemShow.com, or drop us a line at 412-206 WMS09670. You can check us out. We are on, of course, Google Plus, Circle Us, so you can hop in the Hangout here if you're of age. We do the swears a lot. Follow us on Facebook. Like us on Facebook. Join us in the open group going on Facebook. There's a lot of action going on there, and you can be included on the discussion, because that's where a lot of it's happening these days, guys. You can also check out, hey, we're on iTunes, we're on YouTube, we're on Blip TV, we're on MediaFly, we're on your Roku box through the Blip TV app. Hell, we're on your Xbox via the YouTube app. So go watch us or listen to us any way you want, through Stitcher, through anything like that. Of course, you can also check us out through that WMS Gold app that we do have available on iOS devices. $1.99, also on Amazon App Store for you Android folks. And $1.99 gets you some extra access, gives you direct access to the show, all past episodes, as well as easy contact information to the hotline, Twitter, email, etc.
You buy that app and I'll take my pants off.
There you go. There you go. But let's get right with it, guys. We got some fan interactions going on here. First, before we get to that voicemail, I did see something I noted here earlier in the week. Chachi, this was posted by John on the Facebook page and directed towards you, I believe. Because I know you were talking about pink belts a little bit ago.
Oh,
well, how about the Nathan's Hot Dog Female Championship?
Okay, first off,
hot dogs.
If you missed the episode, it was that was part of my whole women's wrestling is a joke rant. I forget what episode that was in.
It's the one with Rachel Summerlin, like 2 episodes ago.
That's the one with the women.
Yes. And that's what it's in reference to. And there's a difference between what I was saying in that episode and what is being pointed out to me.
Okay.
The women's Nathan's championship belt has absolutely nothing to do with wrestling. And,
In that it's a belt.
it's a championship belt. That's about all they have connected. I've seen the belt before, and you know what? Any woman that can eat the amount of hot dogs that those people eat can have whatever fucking color belt they want.
She's such a little girl. Look at her.
That's true. No, that's true. but any female in a competition that is eating hot dogs, I don't think there's a point where people will take it seriously.
Exactly. So
here, I don't think you could fit that many hot dogs in her.
How many is it?
Sorg, it's made it so much worse.
I guess it does.
God.
Okay. Anyways,
here on the
we got another fan mail. Hey, we're just warming up for that interview later, right? We got another one, a voicemail actually by, well, you'll see who.
Hi, kids. This is Bo fucking Diggity. Woo!
I think that was last week's.
Number one, I do that because Chachi said I probably should do that. Number two, I do that because I enjoy saying.
No, it is not. No, it is not.
Yes, it is.
And I'd like to introduce you to a new segment called Amateur Eating Food.
Yes.
Bobby coined this term last week, so I'm going to give him that credit. Shut the fuck up, Wrestlefan. I'm just preemptively saying that because I'm guessing that you're going to try and make some sort of comment about what I'm saying right now, so shut the fuck up. In this week's segment of Amateur Eating Food, puppy chow. That shit is delicious. And they have it in sheets now.
Yes, this
so
is
you
last
can get it
week's.
on the go and not have to go
I forgot that I wasn't here last week in the first segment.
Okay. I
You
thought
can
you were
enjoy it.
Nope.
And it's delicious, especially at 7 in the morning. So that was this week in Amateur Eating Food. Also, that segment was under a minute. Suck it.
Well, I double-checked.
That was the one from last week, apparently, but that's okay because I didn't hear it, so now I'm educated.
It's very similar, actually, because that one's actually from Wednesday.
That's from
according to
Wednesday.
the dates here. So, yes, that is a new one. So, beyond
Puppy chow is delicious.
Puppy chow?
Puppy chow.
I think he said puppy chow.
Yeah, puppy chow is a. Hold on, let me look it up. It's a snack food. It's not. It's not.
It's not dog food.
No, it's
but
not
there
dog
is
food.
a puppy chow, right?
Hold on.
Yeah, that's that.
Puppy chow recipe. LongLiveYourDog.com.
I don't know. AJ knows a lot about food, so I'm going to take his word for it.
Hold on.
There you
I
go.
have it right here. Puppy chow, known to many, including the Chex Company as Muddy Buddies, and also known as Monkey Munch, is a form of chocolate-based confectionery eaten in the United States. It is most often consumed in the northern Midwest, including Michigan, Illinois, Indiana, South Dakota, Minnesota, Iowa, Wisconsin, and Nebraska. Different versions of the recipe call for different levels of ingredients, but they all produce the same result. Melted chocolate, peanut butter, and cereal coated with powdered sugar.
Yeah, those are Muddy Buddies.
I can live with that. Muddy Buddies are the bomb.
So, yes, Puppy Chow, Muddy Buddies, same thing. He's right. Fucking delicious. Get in my mouth.
True. Don't know what this has to do with wrestling, but okay.
It doesn't matter. It's under a minute.
Get into my mouth hole.
Counts. So
get in my mouth hole.
I think with that, I think that's all the interactions we have right off the bat here. Wrestlefan, let's go with Amateur Falling Down.
Amateur Falling Down, a.k.a. the Indie Minute. The first thing is actually something that Sorg wanted to talk about here on the show. About a little something called the Dustin Bartoff Invitational.
Batdorf.
Bartorf. I don't even start with me on pronunciation, Sorg, okay?
It's right there.
You know how bad I am.
Yes. Well, it was a great event. I really didn't know what we were going to get going into this thing, but Chachi joined me, of course. And can you tell me what your favorite match of that night was?
Oh my. So, I don't remember their names.
Marion Fontaine.
Yes, Marion Fontaine.
People that should know him from the Indies, AIW, Prime Wrestling.
He looks like Luigi.
Okay, like a thin Luigi. All right.
Luigi is thin, sir.
Okay.
Get your facts straight. He looks like a Luigi wrestler. And the other one is Jeremy Madrox.
Jeremy Madrox,
the Butcher. And the great thing about these guys is they have epic mustaches. I'm talking curled at the end, fantastic, full-on, amazing mustaches that I could only dream about growing. The Dustin Batdorf Invitational is the first annual tournament in memory of Dustin Batdorf, who passed away last year, or 2 years ago. And it was a tournament to basically proclaim a winner. And one of the qualifying matches was these two gentlemen, epic mustaches included, who got into the ring and then had a 5-minute discussion about who had the better mustache, which turned into making fun of the ref for not having a mustache, which turned into them wrestling while trying to put fake mustaches on the ref. Like, one of them would do a move, the other one would take the brunt, and the one who did the move would pull out a fake mustache while the ref was checking on the other guy and get attacked with the fake mustache.
Nice.
And this happened a good 7 times.
Yes.
And also in the same match, the first ever quadruple mustache twist. It was a legitimate wrestling move in which both person would grab both sides of the opponent's mustache and twist.
Wow.
And they sold it.
And they sold it well. It was amazing.
I actually had the opportunity to talk to Fontaine about it Sunday at the Prime Wrestling tapings, and he was just like, "That's the first time they've ever fought." So you wouldn't have known it from watching that match. It was tremendous.
Oh, it was
it was great. It was a blast. I know you. The camera operators were busting up over this thing.
I was having a blast. It was hilarious. The overall event was really good.
Mm-hmm.
It was all entertainment, which a memorial event should be.
Yeah.
It took place at a huge-ass church, which Ohio has many of, by the way, in Massillon, Ohio.
And it was really impressive, and I don't know if we're going to be getting some footage from the guys that were doing the operation there, but they had a Titantron, basically, for this thing. And Chachi, you got to see more of that than I did. I was kind of tucked underneath it with our setup.
Yeah.
But we're doing the DVD for it with Sorgatron Media, so that should be up. I got to get some materials. It should be up, within the next week or so. So,
but I mean, it was a good event overall. There's a lot of entertaining factors of it. There was a dance party in the middle of a match, which was weird, but highly entertaining.
It was the Jersey Shore guy.
Yeah.
Mikey D.
Yeah, Mikey D.
A lot of faces that we know from RWA, of course. Juice Jennings, Matt Mason, who's also in Prime Wrestling.
Yeah, Agent Orange Juice Jennings.
Yes.
Won the tournament.
Say that name again.
What?
Agent Orange Juice Jennings.
Juice Jennings.
That's right.
Won the Invitational.
I'm trying to even process that in my brain.
Agent.
Orange? Agent. Agent. I thought you said
you were saying Asian.
Oh.
I swear I thought you said Asian.
He's not even a little bit Asian.
Agent
Wow,
Orange
man.
Juice.
But he won the tournament, and then there was a match where Sherman Tank. That's the guy's name. Sherman Tank talked the referee into wrestling his opponent for him. And it was an overall entertaining event. The ring was small.
For those on video, Sherman Tank is the one on the right.
Well, of course he is.
The ring was small, and they didn't give me enough room at ringside, but I dealt with it. But it was a good event.
You did
overall.
an admirable job,
it was
sir.
a good event overall.
Sherman Tank is a pretty big guy. I met him a few times, says John. He's on Twitter. Go follow Sherman Tank. But no, it was a fun show, great show. It was a blast. Kind of turn it over here. Let's see what the next one I had here. Prime Wrestling taping, of course, this weekend happened up in Cleveland. If you haven't heard, I'm sure it's all over the news. Wrestling-wise, Gregory Iron was injured in one of the matches. He took and it's announced he got a concussion and everything. Looks like he just took a power bomb pretty bad and bounced his head off the mat. From all we could tell from our angle. But he seems to be tests are turning out fine, last I heard, and he's going to be all right. But still,
yeah, I heard that he was released from the hospital. Luckily everything is going well for a friend of the show, Gregory Iron.
It was really scary. He was in a tag match with Zach Gowen against the against a couple the tag champs there in Prime. Yeah, it stopped. There was actually a whole other episode we were going to be taping afterwards, but we stopped the show at that point. But you know, something like that, it was pretty unanimous. Everybody wanted to go see if he was okay and everything. So I think it was the right thing to do. They'll be back there in July. I think it's July 8th, if I'm not mistaken. It's at PrimeWrestling.com for you to check that out. And still, other than that, good stuff going on there. Great match between Facade and Gory for the TV title. If I'm not mistaken, that should be on the air Sunday night if you have Sports Time Ohio, and they put those shows up on Prime Wrestling's YouTube page shortly after. So keep an eye out for that. Good stuff. Of course, they've been doing great stuff over here with IWC in the Pittsburgh area. You know, they're getting a chance to shine there on TV as well. So that's great. This weekend is RWA's Aggression if you're in the West Newton area. And of course, we're doing the DVDs for that as well. There's going to be a cage match against a friend of the show, Ryan Mitchell and Ryan Edmonds. And there's also going to be a TLC match against Jay Ice and G Raver for the that one's for the Cruiserweight title. Also, Shane Taylor. Trying to read posters, sorry. Shane Taylor, Calvin McGrath, the usual suspects, Jock Sampson, all those guys. So check that out, rwalive.com for more information on what's going on there. And of course, IWC Super Indie is next weekend. So go check that out as well.
Definitely. Get your tickets at IWCWrestling.com.
Yes, it is. We'll talk about it a little bit more next week. All right,
Definitely.
You got anything else, sir, for the Indie Minute?
That is all I have for the Indie Minute, but it is not the only thing that we have left involving the world of indie.
No, it is not. Let's go straight. Why don't you introduce us to your interviewee here, sir?
I'll have the very distinct pleasure to be joined here on the Wrestling Mayhem show with Anarchy Championship Wrestling star, St. Louis standout, and Submission Squad member, Mr. Gary J. Gary, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing fantastic. I don't know if it's my pleasure or yours, but probably more of my pleasure on your part. Not sure yet.
Well, we'll see by the end of the night. The first question we sort of asked everyone here on the show is whoever we have on was what's your first memory of professional wrestling, and what sort of, I guess, inspires you when it comes to professional wrestling.
I would say my first memory of professional wrestling would be everybody upstairs watching football and me downstairs watching Macho Man. I'm pretty sure that's the first wrestler I saw. I just remember his hat.
Very cool, yeah. I think that's shared definitely throughout the Mayhem show. So tell us a little bit more about where you started. I know you started over in the St. Louis area with some of your fellow members of the Submission Squad. Where did you get your start as far as wrestling school goes, and how you get started in the business?
Well, it's a funny story. Peter Townsley, who used to wrestle many moons ago in the LWA history, you can Google his name if you want. You'll find a lot of other interesting things too. But me and Pierre Abernathy were basically friends in high school, and same thing with me and Pete. And Pete worked at a bar down the street from Pierre's house. I think me and Pierre were drinking one night, and then Pete came over. He's like, "Oh, I got this flyer from these guys that are going to start wrestling school." And this is probably when I was maybe 16, 17. So he gave us that. We called them. We went to their house, set the ring up in their second yard. They lived in a trailer park. And the guy's number who we called was actually Triple X Jordan Lacey, who wrestles now in St. Louis Anarchy. He trained us for a little bit, and then after he trained us, he didn't know too much because he was pretty green, I guess, in the business per se. So he taught us everything he could teach us. And then we ended up meeting Adam Raw, and then we knew Nick Tyson, who originally trained us through other places of people, and basically got set up there. And Adam Raw and Nick Tyson pretty much kicked my ass for years, and then finally they kind of went off into the sunset, and now I'm doing what I do.
Very cool. So for those that don't know, you originally you didn't start out as Gary J, or Gerald James, as you're known more in the St. Louis area. You were originally a character known as Gary the Barn Owl, which was a very very interesting character choice. Where did that character sort of get derived from? Is that sort of how you started in the business?
Basically, I was pretty much a trainee, whatever you want to call it, back in the days of Adam Raw and Nick Tyson, and they were going to start running shows under LWA, and like they were more about like the character of things and not about the wrestling. Like you could be subpar in ring, but like they were more worried about like your average everyday like WWE fan, and like you had to have a character. So I remember Pierre's first gimmick was the European scumbag, Pierre Abernathy. He dropped the European scumbag, obviously. But and they gave me Gary the Barn Owl, and I'm like, what the fuck am I supposed to do with this? I want to be Jeff Hardy. You know, that's the cool thing right now. So basically, like, no, you need to do this, and like basically, like, all right, well, I didn't know anything, and like it ended up being really, really fun to play, and like I definitely got into the gimmick, and I kind of miss doing it time to time. You know, as much as, you know, I love people to yell obscenities at me, I do have a home and I don't live in a box, you know?
That's true. And I think that, I believe those obscenities have kind of carried over to your current gimmick now. So, yeah, I guess that part has never really left you.
Yeah. But I definitely miss doing that. And Jacob Dangle, actually, my original manager as Gary the Barn Owl, just moved back to the area. So that's a shout out to Jacob Dangle. If you're listening or ever hear this, I love you, Jacob Dangle.
Very cool. So you were working in the St. Louis area, like you talked to LWA and stuff like that. You currently work for ACW, which is one of the promotions that's sort of like, you know, you've done the most in, you could say. How did you guys, you and the rest of the Submission Squad St. Louis group, how did you guys transition to ACW? Because, I mean, someplace from going from St. Louis to someplace in Texas, like how did that transition come about?
Well, basically, a lot of it had to do with Pierre and me on, I think, MySpace, constantly looking for places to work, like, you know, because we were like maybe 2.5, 3 years in the business, and MySpace was like the thing to get a hold of people instead of like calling somebody or emailing. So we're on MySpace like maniacs, and I'd messaged ACW probably a year and a half before we actually made our debut, and then I never heard anything back. I was like, oh, well, you know, shit happens, you know, maybe next time. Pierre had messaged ACW one night, I believe, and then I got right back to him, and then I believe we made our debut not far after that when we went down to the venue, I think. We worked each other. So basically MySpace.
Yeah. So do you find it, and even now, do you find it sort of difficult, you know, working for a company in Texas where you sort of have to a lot of travel-based stuff? Do you find that aspect any difficult?
Like making the travel and then performing? Sort of, yeah. It just depends. I mean, a lot of times since we pretty much know Texas like we know St. Louis because we're there constantly, if not more now. If we have a good place to crash and some sleep, I'm pretty good. But, I mean, there's times when we've gotten in the car Saturday night, got out of the car in Austin, wrestled, and got right back in the car. Those are rough. I mean, I think sometimes you can see it in the performance if we're dead tired. I think sometimes it shows. Maybe not, but, I mean, yeah, it's pretty much just you're going without sleep and have to go out there and perform for a bunch of assholes.
Yeah, that's true. And do you and speaking of that, do you think like the crowds are any different than what you get to see in like the St. Louis area? You know, like in the LWAs and the St. Louis Anarchies. Do you think the Texas crowd sort of is any different than, you know, the crowds you see up in that area?
I'd say the St. Louis Anarchy / you know, old LWA crowd, they're more like vocal when it comes to like, I guess if people mess up, like they'll call you straight on it and like they'll bitch you out or say you suck. And a lot of people let that get to them when they make their debut for us in St. Louis Anarchy. Like, oh, the crowd's gonna eat me alive. It's like, just do what you do and don't let it get to you, because there's like maybe 3 to 4 people that will just call your bullshit the whole time you're out there. Once you get used to that, it's pretty similar. The ACW crowd, though, at least like they have a lot more character. Like everybody there has like the people they like, dislike, or whatnot, and they're there just, you know, have a good time and watch a good show overall. So they're similar, but the St. Louis crowd might be a little harsher sometimes, but for the most part, they're similar.
Very cool. Speaking more of that, when you went down to ACW, you were working as a face for a little while in ACW as the U30 champion until you eventually joined forces with your Submission Squad brethren. What would you say? What would you say the Submission Squad is all about? For those that haven't really seen you guys compete, what would you say your tandem is really all about?
We're definitely about submitting people. If you tap out to us, you're good in our book. But overall, obviously people, Submission Squad doesn't throw any submissions on. Have you ever thought maybe that's the gimmick, dummy? But
I was going to ask, because I believe Evangelistico is the only one that has the submission finisher, but that's a very good point.
I can throw a mean drop toe hold, but I don't know about submissions. But that's nor here nor there. But I'd say
was there any specific reason they came up with that name?
The original Submission Squad members, Nick Tyson, who trained me, and Dingo, who ACW knows as well, who's wrestles from time to time still. They are the original members of Submission Squad, which started in LWA, and then they joined up with Peter Abernathy in LWA. And back then, it was more like straight wrestling, no gimmick needed, like wrestling, submitting stuff, submission. And pretty much as soon as we made the jump to ACW with it, as soon as I joined, I think I turned on Vex. As soon as I joined the boys, it was more like, we're going to make it a little different because Dingo wasn't coming down as much, and Nick Tyson had retired. So it's pretty much like, all right, we can take the Submission Squad name and take the reins and do our own thing. So now we're pretty much about just being very entertaining and making sure people get the money's worth.
Very cool. Definitely. I definitely think you guys do a great job of that. Since we bring that up, what in the time that you've been in ACW, you've wrestled a lot of great wrestlers and you've had a lot of very star-studded matches. What do you think would probably be your favorite match that you've had in ACW, or a match that you think people should look at to see what you're all about?
I have maybe 2 or 3 if you don't mind. I mean, I'd say the first one that really stands out in my mind would be the first time that I think Dingo and Nick Tyson came down to Texas, and I believe it was me and Dingo versus Nick Tyson and Pierre. And I also believe there were some Dragon Gate wrestlers on the show. I forgot. It was in the venue. I know BB Hawk was on the show. I forgot the date and everything because I'm an idiot. But that tag match stands out a lot because that was, I think, the first time the crowd really got to see what we were all about and what we could do. And pretty much, I feel that match has really helped us get our full-time spot down there, since the get-go. There's that match. There's the street fight I did in Austin with Sean Vex when we decided to freaking jump off the balcony like a bunch of idiots. He broke his foot, and I pretty much wrecked my life for the whole part. My back still hurts because of that. That match sticks out a lot because that had a good emotion into it. And then the match I recently had with ACH in January is probably one of my best matches I've ever had. I haven't seen it yet. It just felt like it went overall really, really good. And plus, we got the main event, ACW's biggest show of the year.
Yeah, definitely. I can vouch for that being there. It was definitely a highlight of that really great event. But you're an amazing wrestler, and like you mentioned, you do all amazing stuff. Though your personality, I think, comes across as something really interesting in ACW. You're not just great in the ring, but the times you're on commentary, some of the times I think you're the best. We actually had Justin Bisnet on the show about 2 months ago, and he actually named you as one of he actually named you as one of his favorite people to commentate with at shows.
Huh. Yeah, I really actually I tell people all the time, it's once I'm done wrestling, because obviously I have no clue what I'm doing in the ring, maybe I can do this commentating thing. Maybe I can pick up where Biss didn't eat or finish eating, because Biss is quite large. A few people don't know this, but that's okay. I think we have a good dynamic with the whole I hate him thing and he hates me, but we're trying to call a match. I think sometimes I go off kilter with stuff, but if the people like it, then so be it. If they don't, who cares? I don't.
That's true. Yeah. Calling one of the highlights, I think, was from the Yoga Pants match. You making sure to address the fact that Angel Blue was a meth dealer, and that's why she won the American Joshi title. I think that was one of my highlights.
Yeah, oddly enough, it's pretty much like doing stand-up comedy for me. I pretty much that's my place where I can really put my forte or say into is well, I can't talk much in promos because obviously limited time, but you give me 8 to 10 minutes to talk with Fat Boy Biss, I can say whatever I want, within guidelines, so I don't get fired.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. And what we actually brought up here on the thing, something that the St. Louis crowd has seen a lot, but ACW is just recently starting to see, was the introduction of the Gary J family coming into play in your matches. Your father, Dorian Victor, spitting image of you two. I can see the likeness right there. It's amazing.
Yeah.
And obviously your mother also coming in to manage you. I guess, what are your thoughts of them getting involved in your career as of late?
Well, I think it's always great when a family supports somebody, especially, their son. And me being their son, I mean, why wouldn't you want to support me? I'm a good-looking dude. I mean, the beard's the money, if you ask me. I don't care what anybody says. This beard cashes checks. That's how I pay my rent. Look at the beard. But overall, like, having a family there is great. My dad, he's what is he, like 6'6", like 250 pounds. He's rock solid muscle. That's where I get, obviously, the muscle and the looks from. And my mom is just a fox. She's gorgeous. I mean,
I agree. Very, very, very beautiful lady, if I say so myself.
I don't understand why people question if they're my real parents. It's like, obviously, I look just like them. I don't understand it. I don't know. Maybe they're jealous. I mean, I'd be jealous too if I saw this guy with a great family going, wow, that guy probably has a great family, and I don't. My mom's a meth head.
That's true. That's true. I definitely think with a wrestling crowd that is a little point of jealousy, I think there.
Yeah.
But that's been a talking point a lot for the ACW fans. It's been your family. Another talking point has been the introduction of your ring jacket, which you have been wearing to the ring, and it sort of garnered you a lot of, I think the word's hatred from that ring jacket. First, I would love to say, where did you find that masterpiece?
The ring jacket. That thing could probably talk longer than I can. I'm actually staring at it right now. It's on my floor drying off from the last event. It stays wet a long time. I understand that. Anyways, the real story behind the ring jacket is, other than it makes me look great every time I go to the ring or to the store or to a restaurant, because yes, I wear this every day. But sometimes I give it a break. It's kind of old and smells like cigarettes. Not because I smoke, but because the shoot story with this is I was moving Pierre Abernathy's legit mom. We were moving her like last summer, I think. I don't remember, honestly. And we were going through her closet, and I found this marvelous looking jacket, and I'm like, wow, this jacket needs to be worn to the ring. And obviously Pierre's like, absolutely. So, ever since then, I throw it in my bag before I go on the road, and every time I hit the curtain, it's on me. I think it's a good luck thing more than anything.
Yeah, definitely. And I believe even got to the point at the December show, you faced fellow Submission Squad member Davey Vega, and Davey Vega came to the ring with a very similar looking jacket, and you two had a match to determine who would win both jackets in the end. So obviously your jacket is not just a fashion statement, but it's a hotly contested prize in the world of Anarchy.
I think it should be above the Anarchy belt, but I really don't want to put it on the line that much because there's so much lineage and great smell to it. So, obviously,
that's true.
Unless it's, a big money thing, a couple more $100,000 thrown at me maybe, then I'll put it on the line. But until then, I think I'll just keep it as my own. But yeah, Davey Vega went out to maybe a Goodwill, which is BS, because I find mine in the heart of Pierre Abernathy's mom right there in the closet, and he got his at a Goodwill. So it was pretty much a rip-off version of my jacket. But if you remember, I won that match, so therefore I own the rip-off version, and I destroyed it because it will no longer be seen in the light of day.
That's definitely good for that. It's good to see you come out in the end. We do have some fan submitted questions here that we opened out to our fans. We did get a series of questions that came in from someone calling themselves BB Lala. I'll just go with that. He or she has a series of questions for you. First question, what helped you get to where you are at today in wrestling? Sucking or fucking or a combination of both?
That's a really hard one, He really cuts the cord to me on this one. I would say I've never sucked or fucked to get my way into a locker room, so neither of the two, and obviously whoever this BB Lala is has done enough sucking and fucking his way to where he needs to be. So I'm not going to really answer that question with a definite answer because there's been no sucking or fucking in this career.
Good, very, very good. The next question, does the carpet match the drapes?
No, it does not because there are no drapes.
Very good. Definitely great. Next question. What
Chachi's applauding that answer.
I know. What is Gary's mom's hourly rate? I'm not sure exactly what he's referring to there, but
well, she actually works at Walmart, so her hourly rate is $7.50 an hour, and that's all I'm going to say about that.
Very, very true. I don't know why someone would ask that kind of question. Next
who
question.
are these people? These are scoundrels. That's my mother you're talking about.
Very true. Next question. What is your favorite Mojo Bravado match?
I don't know who Mojo Bravado are. I'm assuming they're in ACW somehow, but I really pay attention to anything that doesn't
isn't
involve
one of
me
them
as
like
a
a midget or something?
I'm guessing he's talking about Jordan Jetson and that JoJo kid, Bravo, right?
Yeah. I think so, yeah.
In all honesty, I've seen parts of their matches, and I don't think they're a bad tag team. I think they're pretty good. They have a lot to offer, and that's why they're in ACW, but I wouldn't put them against someone like myself. That probably wouldn't be good for people overall. I mean, I'd embarrass them. I mean, they're next generation thing, you know, next gen, like we're 50-year-old people. I mean, what am I, fucking ready to die?
Good point. And the next question, what was your favorite Submission Squad versus Team Smurf match? I know you guys had a big feud going on over in ACW. What match do you think would stick out there?
I would say my favorite would be the one I was in and the one that ended the feud.
That's a good one. Yeah, definitely. Here's a good one. What's your favorite Matt Fitchett story? I know Matt Fitchett, a.k.a. the Dirty Rook, is actually sidelined with a torn quad, which will not prevent him from his various amounts of drinking that he does. But do you have any good Matt Fitchett stories?
My favorite Rook story would be... We were on a party bus with gorgeous Jordan Lacey, the boys, and a whole bunch of other people we didn't know. And basically, got back from a show at like 11, met up, got on the party bus, went drinking all night. We were at a bar, and I'm like, "Hey, Pierre, is the Rook coming in?" And he's like, "No, he's passed out. Like he'd been drinking heavily since we got on the bus, and this is like 2.5 hours in." So we're at the bar. I go to the bathroom, and I come back out, and "Hey, Pierre, what are you doing?" And he goes, "Oh." And then as that happens, the Dirty Rook just starts dancing from the front of the door to the dance floor and proceeds to battle dance this guy that looks like Tupac for about 20 minutes to 40 minutes. And then he went right back to drinking. So I guess he fell asleep to take a quick cat nap, and then he went back to battle dancing Tupac. So that's probably one of my favorite ones that sticks out.
Definitely, yeah. His next question is, how do you feel about Peter Abernathy's rise in popularity? Definitely, from what we've seen, definitely in ACW.
I think it's great. I think in all reality, Pierre Abernathy has a lot to offer in tag wrestling and in singles matches. No one really looks at him like a serious threat, but I like, true to my heart, I think he's very underrated and has a great mind for wrestling, and people just really haven't seen it yet, oddly enough. But I think this year, if not sooner, you'll see a lot more out of Pierre Abernathy and understand why I just said what I said.
Definitely, yeah. And sort of side question with that, do you find it interesting the fact that, you know, you as a submission squad's sort of seen as sort of a not, you know, a group that the fans hate, but you have Pierre Abernathy in there, and you have Davey Vega, and you have Athena that being, you know, slowly being cheered by the ACW crowd. Do you think that sort of effect is a problem for the group, or do you think it's just something that makes you guys different?
I think it just makes it different. I mean, obviously, in a family, not everybody's going to be the exact same cookie-cutter thing, or I hate this guy, or I hate this guy. I mean, people think different ways. Pierre and Davey Vega right now, obviously, you know, they're on the dick of the fans. That's fine. They'll eventually realize that's not the way, but if they want to do that for now, they can make their own mistakes. And, I mean, me and Evan have been there and done that. I mean, I started off in ACW with the fans love me, but I went to the flavor of the month, so obviously that went away, and now I am who I am.
Very cool. So, yeah, you never know. The next question, we mentioned Nick Tyson before. He asked, what is Nick Tyson doing these days?
Actually, Nick Tyson is a head manager at Target about 20 minutes from my house. And he actually just sent a text today that he won't be at my wedding. So if Nick Tyson can hear this, you can get fucked. I really don't talk to him anymore, sadly enough.
Very good. I can see. Good to see he's moving his way up. And then the next question is, what is your next big goal in wrestling?
Is this still from that one fan, or is it just questions?
This is still from BB Lala.
I wonder what the BB stands for, but I'm gonna say my next goal in wrestling. I'm gonna go just do what I do now, and like if I can make like a full-time living at it, like and work to wrestle like 3 to 4 times a week and make that a living and live comfortably, I think that's my goal. Like obviously everybody's like, oh, I want to go WWE. Sure, I'd love to go to WWE if they hand me a contract. I'd do whatever they told me, But obviously that's not in hindsight. So like I just want to travel, make money, and have a good time.
Very cool, definitely. And he has a last question, which is going to tie into something that I wanted to talk about, because St. Louis Anarchy's got a big show coming up this Sunday for Circus Maximus in St. Louis, Missouri. You were in the main event of that show, as you will be facing Dan Walsh for the St. Louis Anarchy title in a tables, ladders, and chairs match. So what are your thoughts, basically, about Dan Walsh and going into that big TLC matchup?
Dan Walsh, well, he's been on MTV, so he's Mr. Hip Cool Flavor of the Month down here at the moment. He's got really good charisma. He's really tough, I know that. He's more of a brawler, but obviously if you've seen me wrestle, I can wrestle, fly, and jerk it like the best of them. So I would say it's going to be interesting. Very good, interesting angle there. And actually, Circus Maximus is July 13th. The show this Saturday is the St. Louis Anarchy Beyond Wrestling double show we're doing in Ohio.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that.
Yeah, that's understandable.
We also had 2 questions that were sent in by a friend of the Mayhem show, Big Freaky. He asked first, because not only are you working at ACW, St. Louis Anarchy, and all that, you are also competing in Absolute Intense Wrestling in Cleveland, Ohio. And he wanted to know your thoughts on Eric Bryan, who is the new AIW champion, and I guess if you have any intention of either you or one of the other members of the Submission Squad possibly going after the AIW championship.
I'd love to. If I got the opportunity, absolutely. Eric Bryan, I think, is really, really good. I think me and him have a really good chemistry. We've only been in the ring once before, but I think there was something there. And I'd love to have a one-on-one match with him. So if there's any time I got that, I would absolutely take it.
Very cool. Definitely. And also, he also wanted to know your thoughts on, I don't know if you watch a lot of televised wrestling like WWE and stuff like that. What do you think is, like, I guess he wants to know in general, what do you think of the product on television nowadays compared to what it could be?
That's kind of a hard one, because obviously I live day to day and salary by salary, so I do not have cable, but that's all right. I have the internet to read all this crap. I don't know. I haven't watched TNA since, I don't know, years ago. Are they still on?
I believe they're still kicking, yes.
Yes, okay. I know Raw just went to 3 hours. I keep up with WWE more just because I think WWE is more entertaining at the moment. The last thing I watched was WrestleMania, which, I'm a huge fan of WrestleMania no matter what's on the card. It's WrestleMania. It's pretty much my Christmas. But I think overall as a product, like, TNA could do so many other things, but from what his dad's been telling me, Dorian, I should watch TNA more because they're getting better and they're not going to screw me over this time. So hopefully Dad's right. So we'll go with that. And WWE, TNA could probably use a lot of their young guys in different ways too, but I can go on for days about that, as most everybody has an opinion on what TNA can and can't do. WWE, I don't really know. Like, I'm entertained by their product. I mean, sure, it's not as good as like the Attitude Era, or it's not the same, but with every era of wrestling, it's different. It's not going to be the same. You'll have similarities, and maybe they'll bring some of those similarities back. But if it was the same thing, you'd be going, "Oh man, this is the same shit they did 6-7 years ago," and it just becomes dried up and boring.
Yeah, definitely. And the final thing I want to note is to promote the show. You have a big match coming up for ACW in July. Since you will be facing Ring of Honor star and former ACW heavyweight champion too, Jimmy Jacobs, at the ACW 100th show. What do you think about you going into that match wrestling Jimmy Jacobs? What's your mindset, I guess, going into it?
I don't know. It's going to sound odd, but I really have no mindset. Pretty much going to go in there like I always do, and let the better man me win. I mean,
that's a good way to put it. Yeah.
He's got some interesting looking ring gear. I mean, I have a great looking jacket. I just don't think his ring gear outdoes the jacket. So I mean, that pretty much says I'm going to win.
That's true. If you're looking at just gear perspective, I definitely think you have the edge on Jimmy Jacobs.
Yeah.
Yes, I don't know if he's doing it down there, but I know up here around the Cleveland area for Prime, he's going as the Zombie Princess.
Huh. I don't think I had any clue about that. Now I know. Maybe I'll bring garlic to the ring.
There you go.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Gary, for being on the show and sharing some very interesting information with all of us. I think we've all learned a lot in this time. If they want to find you on the internet, or if they have if you're at a show coming up, where can they find you?
Well, this Saturday I will be in Cleveland, Ohio at Turner Hall, AIW's building. I'd like to thank AIW for helping out Beyond and St. Louis Anarchy for doing our joint show Saturday night there. And my match that night will be me, Pierre, and Evangelistico, the three probably almost original, not yet original Submission Squad members, versus Eric Cannon, Darren Corbin, and Kristen Rose. I think that'll be a really good match, but I think the match that everybody's probably really looking forward to, I'm not because I don't like ACH, but I'll still plug it because I'm a nice guy, I guess, is the main event for that show will be ACH versus Johnny Gargano, which is pretty much every smart mark's dream, so they can jerk it all about that if they want. But if they don't, they can jerk it about my match. I'm okay with that. And then the weekend after that, I will not be at the Joshi tournament because me and the boys are celebrating my wedding. I'm getting married June 24th, the same day Kristen Wall killed his family.
Yeah.
Yeah, congratulations for me, but I don't know how she puts up with me every day.
I'm assuming the family will be in attendance, very happy for this splendid moment.
Oh yeah, the family will be there. They'll. Mom already found her dress. It's a little slutty, but I'll let it pass. Dad's looking forward to it. I mean, it's gonna be a festive time. So as you guys are crowning a new queen of Joshi's, I'll be kicking it with a click per se.
Very cool. And they can also follow. Or go ahead.
And then after that, I got to plug Circus Maximus, St. Louis Anarchy's next alone show, which will be July 13th in Illinois. And if you're on Facebook, Twitter, or MySpace, I don't think MySpace is still relevant, just like TNA. But if you're on any of those three, you can just type in St. Louis Anarchy in a little search bar. It will pop up, and you'll get all the show information. And if you're looking for me on Twitter, MySpace, or any other various things on Google, or rare pictures of me with a duck on my head, you can just type in Gary J into all those little search bars, and it will pop up.
Very cool. Well, thank you, Gary J, for having us for being on the show here this week. And I believe we are going to transition to what we have planned for WMS Gold on the old iPhone app to see what happens in between the show, and we'll be right back.
And a Isley's chipped chopped ham sandwich.
Now,
Wrong! We're going to the Hangout. What did you guys eat?
Wait!
Here we go. Oh, yeah. You wish you saw this jelly. Yeah. Call it the old honey pot. I'll bring it back, right? Frowny face on fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be exactly it.
Somehow also puckering its lips.
Saturday, June 23rd, IWC Pro Wrestling presents Super Indy 11 live at the Courttime Sports Center in Elizabeth, PA. Featuring former Ring of Honor World Champion Davey Richards, Kyle O'Reilly, Sami Callihan, Chuck Taylor, and the superstars of IWC. Pittsburgh's biggest and best pro wrestling promotion returns June 23rd at 7 p.m. for Super Indy 11 live in Elizabeth, PA. For tickets and information, visit IWCWrestling.com.
What's up, guys? This is DJ Lunchbox, and I want to take you on a mental journey that we have here on the Wrestling Mayhem show. You might know it better as, remember when? Mick Foley has done some really fucked up shit. He's jumped off of things and been thrown off of things and been thrown off of things inside of other things, and baseball bats with barbed wire, and there was that thing with Edge, and he's even ventured into the vast wasteland of Lita's vagina. But he's got some distinctive scars from his misadventures, his strange journeys, his exploding ring matches in Japan, his hot makeout sessions with Terry Funk. One of his most distinctive features, though, is that motherfucker is missing an ear. Now, you think to yourself, how the fuck do you lose an ear? Well, if you're Mick Foley, it's in a fairly mundane way. He didn't take a bad bump on some razor wire. He didn't have a stick of dynamite shoved in his ear by Hayabusa in Japan. No. Mick Foley had a match against the man who made his return, his big, chubby, floppy man-titty return to Raw this week, Big Van Vader. He had a match against the man who threw him into the ropes, and Mick Foley, as he's one to do, takes a flip-a-doo over the ropes. And get his bits caught every now and then. Well, this time, it was unfortunate. He got his head caught in the ropes. Head caught in the ropes. Only thing to do is pull yourself out. And he left part of his ear behind. That's fucked up. And I remember it. Do you remember it?
Well, I don't think. The thing is, I think you may remember it from the book, but I don't think you remember it from TV. So I'm pretty sure this was a event.
I remember it from vivid memory. I mean, vivid imagination.
Oh, I see.
And I'm sure that shit haunts Vader all the fucking time. Almost as much as appearing on Boy Meets World haunts Vader all the fucking time. Which do you think worse?
Don't you even. That was the...
Or seeing a man's ear shorn from the side of his head by a ring rope.
Vader on Boy Meets World was the most redeeming part of my career.
On the Mayhem show and ask him if he remembers when?
First off, I would just like to state that last night Vader looked damn good.
He did.
Oh, yeah.
Still chunky, but he's older.
But when was he? But sorry, when was he never chunky?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, he looks as good as he could with his age and everything, but he looked a lot better than last time. Because last time he fell off the ring.
Yeah, last time he was brought into team with Goldust to fight Batista.
That's true. That's true.
For some reason.
That's true. Because they all both have something on their face. I guess. I don't know. I'm attempting to find the episode with Vader on it.
I've been also looking up Vader stuff. Has anyone heard of the time when he was in Japan and he was wrestling Stan Hansen, and during the match his eyeball came out of his eye socket?
Wait, Hansen's or his?
Vader's.
Wow.
Stan Hansen or Stan Stansky?
No, that would be amazing. But no, Stan Hansen. They were wrestling in Japan, and he had to literally take his mask off because his eyeball came out of his eye socket.
Well, there it is.
There's the clip.
Well, I don't want to see that at all.
Oh, my. Oh, wow. We're getting away from that.
That's fucking terrible.
I have a question for you.
It's easy to find, that's for sure. What's up, Chuck?
I have a question for you. In the fucked up realm of injuries that happen in the ring that are saved on YouTube for us to watch forever.
Forever.
What do you guys feel is worse? The time where Vader's eye popped out of his socket, which none of us saw live.
Sure.
Or the time where Psycho Sid snapped his ankle, his leg.
Which technically we didn't see live, but they showed the replay.
No. It was live on the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
They were like, because I remember, because Ric Flair, like they had a mystery guy come in or something like that, and they were cutting to the back where the mystery guy came out of the limo, and that was when Sid Vicious broke his leg.
Oh, so they didn't even catch it, but then they replayed it. Okay,
but
there
they
it
replayed
is.
it over and over
There you
again.
go.
Oh my god! God damn it! Why are we showing this?
And the best was the next night where it was Scott Steiner and whoever he was teaming with at the time snapping sticks as they showed the clip over and over.
So yeah,
Yeah.
what do you guys feel is worse?
Probably Vicious. Because I mean, yeah, the Vader's didn't have any like long term like damage to him. You could say
They popped it up and he was good.
yeah, that is hard to fucking come back from.
Wow.
We were talking about messed up injuries. I had to bring it up.
And with that, speaking of messed up, let's go to Mad Mike's Minute of Mayhem, and we'll be right back.
Wrestling Mayhem Show, it's Mad Mike, once again with your Minute of Mayhem. Okay, Raw was a decent enough go-home show, I guess. I will say that I've missed seeing Vince McMahon. It's weird to say that, considering how long, you know, like, Vince was on TV and we used to all get sick and tired of him. But seeing him on the show, I don't know, it makes it feel important. Now, I don't think Johnny's going to get fired this week. I don't know how they're going to pull that off because I think Cena's going to win. But, I mean, No Way Out, I don't know, it just doesn't seem all that important. Because, I mean, it's in Jersey. I was thinking of going to No Way Out. But the card just doesn't intrigue me that much. I mean, if it was Punk versus Bryan in a submission match or an Iron Man match or something like we thought was going to happen, then yeah, that'd be a reason for me to take a day off from work and head down to Jersey. But I don't know, it just seems like this is it's the precursor to something else that you're going to see at Money in the Bank. It's my guess anyway. But I will say that on Raw, AJ skipping around Kane, not you, AJ, but the shorter one with boobs, her skipping around Kane was the cutest fucking thing I've ever seen on Raw. That was just hilarious. Like, she just smiles and then just starts skipping around him like it's a goddamn children's animated show. And it was brilliant. But, yeah, so it's gonna be interesting. Like, personally, I'd love to see AJ go heel and have this be a whole, you know, storyline with Bryan that she was working out. I don't think that's gonna happen. I think Punk's still gonna win. But, you know, it could be interesting. As far as Impact goes, I've done the Google Hangout 2 weeks in a row, Hot Wheels, and Wrestlefan joined me last week. And, wow, Impact, like, I don't know where the AJ Dixie storyline is going. I honestly don't care. But if it ends up being that they're planning a surprise party for Surge, I'm gonna be very disappointed. And Crimson losing his undefeated streak to James Storm in a matter of 5 minutes. Well, it's better than getting a taser from Scott Hall. Well, I think that's all I have this week. I'm gonna watch Impact again on Thursday. Gonna do a live Google Hangout, and as long as things go well with my car this week, should be getting it back. I'm planning on coming to Pittsburgh. And I'm telling you this because I'm centering my trip around the Wrestling Mayhem show. So, you may be seeing me live in the studio before you know it. So, until then, peace, bitches.
Thanks, Mike, for that. And talking about AJ, LB, you had a little piece about AJ this week in your quick rundown on the site.
Yes, I did. Yeah, that bitch is crazy. Did you guys click on the GIF? in the article.
Yeah, the GIF is pretty amazing. We can't center it in too well here, unfortunately.
We're seeing all we need to see.
Okay. So she did the crazy thing before, huh?
No. This was from a promo. This was from a promo in FCW. This was right after her getting slapped by, I believe, like Raquel Diaz or something.
Okay.
But yeah, it's a good representation.
Okay.
Yeah. I like it. I want to just take her home. I want to just take her home and, like, feed her and give her water.
Holy shit, cut him off. That's creepy. Like, next step is I want to take her home and feed her and then chain her up in my basement so she gets really thin and I can slide her skin right off her flesh. And fucking wear it like a little girl suit.
Put the lotion on the skin. It puts the lotion on the skin.
But that's the thing. Like when we talk about AJ, we're not saying that she's sexy. She's just really, really cute. Like that's the phrase.
You sound like a serial killer right now.
Yeah.
You sound like someone who's going to build a shrine with candles.
See, look how cute that is.
When you jerk off, you imagine that you're wearing her skin. That's what you sound like right now.
That is so wrong. Okay.
Like you take pieces of ham, like sliced ham, and you like lay it on your arm and on your stomach when you jerk off. Like, oh, AJ skin. That's you. That's what you do. It's fucking disgusting, and you have to get over it.
Wow. Just fucking wow. Like, we go places on this show, alright? We go places. And sometimes those places are a little too far. Like, Hogan porn or China porn or, things of that nature. But, wow! Fucking Lunchbox! You just took that to, like, this whole fucking creepy, fucked up level of fucked upness.
Listen, I told everybody I had a really rough day.
Wow! Just fucking wow!
It was going to be a really raw show.
You went there. You could have gone a million other places. You go there.
Don't blame me. It's Wrestlefan.
Oh, it's my fault. Okay.
I love you all.
Wow. On that note, so Raw was fun last night.
No, it wasn't. It was too much.
Actually, I thought it was a pretty fun Raw. Now, LB, you watched it straight through with other people. What did you think?
I thought it was delightful.
Wrestlefan?
Full of burps. Oh, it was so good.
Wrestlefan?
It was great. I thought it was great. I thought the fact that they built it around, Vince McMahon telling John Laurinaitis, you better put on a good show tonight or you're going to be fired. And it was a lot of great stuff. And it was, it was everything I really wanted. And it was 3 hours, but honestly, it didn't feel as much like 3 hours.
No, it didn't. No, it didn't really.
In the coming weeks, when it's 3 hours, oh my god, it's going to be horrible. But yeah, it was it was good.
Hey, things to add to the list of matches I never ever want to see again. Kofi versus anyone huge in a cage.
Actually, I didn't think that was that bad.
No, I didn't.
I thought it went too long.
Yeah,
did not like it.
There was Kofi could have done some of his what Kofi needed to do. Kofi should have done some of his high flying stuff. Big Show should have killed him and then left. The match did not need to be that long, and especially with like at the end when like Big Show was like all gingerly leaving the ring and like, oh, am I gonna hit the floor sort of thing. Like I feel like he should have just finished Kofi off.
That part I enjoyed.
Yeah.
But it would have worked better
just
if
casually walking out because nobody's ever done that before in a cage match.
No,
just.
But I think it would have worked better if he finished off Kofi quicker. Both for that reason and also because to build the whole fact that he gets to be a monster, he gets to be a big guy, like he was saying.
They gave us a cage match that was longer, to give us a little more of a cage match. I thought that was great, and Big Show asserted his dominance going into the show. That's what you're going to expect from it.
Yeah.
I thought the more interesting match was the Punk AJ versus Kane Bryan thing. That sets up some really interesting stuff.
It was interesting, but the match wise, it wasn't anything to call him
you're
about.
Not going to expect a good match that involves AJ for some reason,
Or Kane.
Well, AJ was technically AJ was in the main event of Raw against 3 of the top stars in the company.
Yes.
That says something. No matter what
AJ was one of the most interesting parts of the whole show.
Yes, she was.
And she absolutely, like I said in my column, has more personality than any other diva in the roster.
Mm-hmm.
By a huge margin.
That's the thing. This is great, and I think after this whole thing is done, they need to inject her into the Divas division and give it something. Like her and Layla and Beth Phoenix and all that too could push that division to the fucking moon.
Yeah, if they let them go with it and be more than just whatever they're doing with it. Although it was interesting, the mixed tag match I thought was interesting too with Santino and
that was amazing.
Beth and Layla.
That was the perfect comedy relief match.
Yeah, I really thought the show was like one of the better paced ones they've had in a while, which they needed that since it's 3 hours. My God. So.
You know what I would like to see? I would really like to see. I agree, Wrestlefan. Put AJ in that Divas in the competition with the Divas. That's going to be great. I would really like to see AJ try the Kane tactic that she tried in a tag match with Karma. That shit would be hilarious.
That's where I'll get interesting.
You like the freaky shit, Lunchbox. I mean, come on.
No, honestly, I think that would be good.
Freaky shit, and I'm not the one jerking off with pieces of ham on his arm. Watch your mouth, young man.
Well then.
Hey, so there's a new T-shirt out by BotchedMerch.com. Once you go, Brian, there's no point in trying. A hit amongst guys named Brian with a Y everywhere.
Says Chachi as he fills out the paperwork.
But no, we had something we needed for a while was a good promo between CM Punk and Daniel Bryan. Yes, and even Kane. I
think Daniel Bryan actually showed a lot of promise more than Punk did. I think Daniel Bryan, not being known for his personality, he's known for his in-ring skill. Mm-hmm. He made some great points in that promo, and he held his own against Punk.
Yeah, exactly. He's not usually a promo guy, I don't think, right? I don't know, LB, you know much more about Daniel Bryan from his ROH days.
Yeah, he was never a really big promo guy. A little shouty, but he would always let his elbows do the talking.
Exactly. And now we have hashtag GOATface, which I think, didn't that pop up on Twitter and we all busted up laughing?
Yep. Well, it was hilarious when it popped up on the little banner on Raw, like mid promo.
Yeah. It was that was pretty good. That was a great use of that. Awesome. Other than that,
which, if you look at old photos of Daniel Bryan, he looked more like a goat face then. He doesn't have the beard as big as he used to have it.
Mm-hmm.
Beard.
Go goat face. And I love that was like the best crowd too, because we had Chance of Crazy Chicks. We had all kinds of fun stuff coming out of that one. There's another older picture of Daniel Bryan or Bryan Danielson.
Who's that guy?
He's had plenty of looks. Look at that one. The wild hair look.
There he
no
is.
hair look. But still, I'm kind of out the lunch on the pay-per-view this week. I don't know whether to make a big deal.
Wrong.
Wrong.
You're trying to get me back for the food thing on Gold?
Yeah.
Dan. But
it doesn't look good.
What? No Way Out?
I'm not sold on the pay-per-view. There's nothing. There's nothing's really grabbing me around the middle and being like, get it.
Yeah, I mean, it really doesn't look any more than Over the Limit. Actually, it looks like it's better stacked than Over the Limit in the long run. No. We have 6 matches announced, including the pre-show of Otunga and Brodus Clay.
You will not say that show is better stacked than Over the Limit.
Why? What was better about Over the Limit than this?
So we're John Cena in the Big Show, and yes, we mentioned CM Punk, Daniel Bryan, and Kane I don't care. Kane's a side member in this storyline. I don't see why he's in this match. And Sheamus and Dolph Ziggler, which is going to be great, but was built last night because Alberto Del Rio's been out with a concussion.
Yeah.
And I don't, it doesn't seem as stacked as like Punk Bryan. Oh, the big, stuff from there. We had a lot of big stuff going into. Then we have like a 4-way for the world title.
See,
but
now I could see Cena's show could be really interesting. It's in a cage. I like what they're doing with the show. I love how LB refuses to admit that he's a heel.
Yeah, Big Show's face.
Why is he a face?
I agree.
Tell me what one thing he said to make him a heel.
I don't care about making people laugh anymore. I want money. I need to take care of me.
That makes sense.
Makes sense. Doesn't
that
make him a heel.
motherfucker's got mouths to feed. Potential baby giant mouths. Yeah, take care of his shit.
That's true.
Do you know how much food it takes to feed a Big Show baby mouth?
At least twice as much as a normal baby mouth.
So is this like a be a star thing? Like he's trying to defend himself against the people that didn't look out for him?
Yeah, everybody's bullying him, especially John Cena, who's calling people cripples on the show last night. Holy shit. Fuck John Cena. What the hell, man? Be a star, asshole.
Hey, he's going through a divorce. He's got to let it out somewhere.
Not even to be a star thing. I didn't like anything John Cena's been doing with this Big Show feud because he like the during the whole like turning point thing, and he was like, I used to consider Big Show a friend. Really? So when he was crying on his knees because he was going to lose his job, you were too busy doing what?
Jim Carrey impressions.
Yeah, if you were such a friend.
Yes. Exactly. So, I don't know. Between that, I think there's a lot of potential for good matches, even with Kane thrown in there to the Punk Bryan match. But I don't really think you're going to expect much of a match, like a good match between the Bryan Punk Kane thing, because it's going to be whatever they're going to do with AJ. She's the story there. Holy crap, she's on the poster, guys. So,
yeah.
I really think Match of the Night is going to be Brodus Clay and Atunga, and that's for free.
That's true, because Brodus Clay is awesome and David Atunga is awesome.
Exactly.
Only two I care about on WWE right now.
So I also want to touch base. Wrestlefan, did you take a look at the Slammiversary pay-per-view?
I did see some stuff from it. Yes, it was in Texas. No, I did not go to it.
What? It's like your backyard.
It's 8 hours away.
8 hours away?
You know how big Texas is.
Don't be a bitch.
Don't be a bitch.
Don't be a bitch,
dude. You know what's 8 hours away from me? New York City. I went for a show.
I'm sorry, Christian's great, but he's not worth me driving 8 hours. I'm sorry. But I heard it was honestly a very good pay-per-view. And from what I've seen, it looks like one.
That's what I heard.
I've watched through it. It is like probably one of the better TNA pay-per-views I've seen. I want to say since Destination X last year. Like full on through the pay-per-view. Even the freaking Bully Ray Joseph Parks match was entertaining.
Yeah.
And again, this illustrates that crowd was as hot, if not hotter, than the England crowd that we had for Impact a few months ago. That was the they were saying Yankees suck, let's go Rangers to Bully Ray. They were chanting crazy for Joseph Parks, for other people throughout the night, for Kurt Angle.
From what I heard, they were hot on, a lot of stuff in that crowd.
Yes, that's what you need. That's why when I watch Impact every week and then I get your pay-per-view that's from the same damn arena, I don't feel like anything's important anymore. This did feel like it was important because the crowd felt like it was important. You got to go to these places that are hot like this, that the crowd is into, that you can fill an arena. It doesn't look like that was a half-ass filled arena like you've seen before.
And even when they half-ass fill it, Bound for Glory, it was half filled. On TV, it still looked good.
Exactly.
And you're still getting live crowd reactions, and you're still getting people who paid to see wrestling and did not pay to go to a theme park.
Exactly. I think there's a big difference there, and I think that show really benefited from all that. It just had the feel of a big event, and I want to say it felt bigger than Bound for Glory last year. I think Bound for Glory this year will be hard-pressed to beat it as far as a good show. You know, you can still get that out of these guys, and I think it's great. So there you go. Now I'm, especially after the horrible weeks leading up to the pay-per-view, so I don't know how much that helped.
Did you guys see? I brought this up to Mad Mike, but did you see what Mad Mike posted on the Facebook page, Wrestling Mayhem Show Facebook page?
What's that? I missed it.
TNA is doing a house show in Texas during a live Impact.
Yes. Does he have? He has. If I recall, he has listed the people that will be appearing.
Yeah, stacked card, fucking stacked card. We have a knockout 6-woman tag match. Rob Terry against Douglas Williams.
Woo!
Oh wow!
Wait.
Crimson and Matt Morgan. Whoa! Kid Cash and somebody like
what? I thought he was dead.
Kid Cash had Kid Cash had a tremendous match against Hernandez on the pay-per-view.
Fuck that.
I was like, Kid Cash, how could this be?
You cannot use the words tremendous match and Kid Cash in the same sentence.
Hernandez.
What?
End of story.
Chachi,
What?
Chachi,
are you talking about?
don't know who Kid Cash is.
I've seen Kid Cash live.
I don't believe you.
Wait,
Don't believe you.
in the Juggalo
You're
shit?
making it up.
Well, that's...
Don't judge the Juggalo.
Yeah, don't judge
shit.
on the Juggalo shit.
Oh, so I'm supposed to look at one set of indie wrestling but not another?
Yes.
That's indie wrestling racist.
Now you guys are being assholes.
What? you guys are assholes.
Asshole.
No, seriously, you can't tell me to watch one set of indie wrestling, which TNA is, and not to watch another. The Hangout just crashed. Fix the Hangout.
You're leaving me hanging.
What's up?
It's not
Yes.
just
Yeah.
You're leaving me hanging.
Lunchbox, what's up? I can't.
High five him.
Sorry, I couldn't see you.
That's okay.
No.
What are we high five for?
I'm not saying
Because
to
I'm yelling at
disregard it.
you over your indie wrestling
And
racism.
excuse me, Wrestlefan, that's Kid Cash versus Sabin.
Yeah, or Sabin. Yeah, that's gonna be a good fucking match.
That is gonna be a good fucking match.
I'm sorry. Do not judge one person's performance on the entirety of their career.
Oh, I will. He did not entertain me in the least. That's all there is to it.
Moving on.
WWE or Wrestling Mayhem Show not in love with Kid Cash at all.
Take
Fuck
that,
'em.
Kid Cash. Take that. Although Zero says that the card sounds better than a typical Impact show. There you go.
Yeah.
How much would you pay for a ticket to this? Actually, I would, because that's a good indie show at least. Oh, Gunner versus Garrett. Never mind.
Yeah, but apparently everyone on that card is not going to be on Impact that week.
Guess who's not being used? There you go. And that's posted right next to the Yoga Pants Party. I want to mention
Yoga Pants Party.
Yoga Pants Party. Yeah.
Featuring guest commentary from our very special interview for this week.
That's right. It's very special. Is there? Never mind.
Yeah. Talking about meth heads.
All right. On that
What's
point,
the video?
I would open it up to the Hangout here. Hey guys, how you doing?
Good.
All right.
What?
Is there any comments?
Cool.
Is there any comments you have, or any stories that we missed so far that you guys want to bring up?
I was going to say about Kane being added to Raw, or being added to the CM Punk and Daniel Bryan feud. I think it was legitimatized last night when AJ used her feminine wiles on him.
That's right. As we saw, now he's part of the storyline. Yeah, but it was interesting how they brought him in too.
Also, I'm going to take a page from what AJ said since he's not here, and say that she used the Bugs Bunny offense on Kane.
Yes.
That's true.
That was probably my favorite part of Raw, when Kane was just like, "I'm done. I'm out."
The way he tagged in Daniel
That bitch
Bryan.
is too crazy for my ass.
That's tremendous. What about you, John?
I'm just wondering if Kane has found his humanity and he can't have it. after they killed off his humanity, you have a crazy chick kiss him, and it reignites his humanity.
I don't know how to feel about that. I don't know how to feel about that. Yeah, that's true.
The other thing I have is on actually Kid Cash. I have a funny story that relates to Kid Cash. And going to a concert in Tennessee about 7 years ago, running into, at the time, a freshly broken up girlfriend of his, which at the time she was the NWA Women's World Champion, and she went on to become the Takedown.
Wrestlelicious.
Yes, Wrestlelicious Takedown Champion, which was they used her name. They used her on there as Glory, but her real name is and it's slipping my mind now because I haven't seen her in a while. But we ended up at the same concert, and she was like, I hate that guy. We dated for the last 2 years. And it was just roll. She just kept rolling and rolling with it. She's like, he's such a... I mean, it was like, well, welcome to the tabloids. I just got the biggest piece of dirt on
Christy Ricci?
On him. Yes, Ricci. Yeah, Christy Ricci. But it was hilarious because she was just rolling down the list of things that she couldn't stand about him. I was like, oh, freaking Kid Cash. It was actually the day he got released from the WWE when they were doing the Pitbulls gimmick with Jamie Noble.
Oh, yeah. Where did that go?
Yeah, that went nowhere.
Yeah, there's a little more of your AJ Kane stuff right there.
Oh, sucking on the mask.
Some of the tweets were so inappropriate.
Yeah, but they had trouble picking them
to see what flavor
the day
the
after.
fruit roll-up is.
There you go. From the chat room, Ciro brings up Sting in the Hall of Fame.
Fine with it.
I mean, if you're going to put anybody in there, he's the one that makes sense.
Sounds great.
If anybody,
but apparently, Karen Jarrett's being like pissy on Twitter because Jeff Jarrett wasn't the first entrant in the Hall of Fame or something.
Oh, yeah.
Go away, Karen Jarrett. We don't want you except for your boobs.
Which sadly, it's because she's like targeting Dixie Carter in the tweet. So I have a feeling there's a chance he may be coming back on TV, which kind of sucks.
Okay, so you think this is going to be a thing?
I feel like it, yeah. Because that's what they like to do, is they like to take Twitter and make it into storylines. Woo!
Well, they do that. I mean, well, WWE does that too. WWE does it with their YouTube stuff. I mean, I think it's smart. It's an interesting way to do that.
Your face is smart.
But people have to follow those people on Twitter. So
still, it's a place. If you're one of those people that are looking for that more content, then that's a place. That's a place to do it. You know, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah. So, all right. Anything else we need to hit up here, guys?
Your face. We need to hit your face out.
We need to learn. Chachi, what'd you learn from wrestling this week?
I learned that 3 hours of Raw is way too much of Raw.
Did you learn anything from videotaping this weekend?
Yes, I learned that I need more than 3 feet between the barricade and the ring in order to successfully operate. Also, mustache wars are the greatest.
DJ Lunchbox, what'd you learn from wrestling this week, sir?
I learned that Lord Tensai is so angry, and Ryback is also angry, and I want them to like kind of tease that they're going to team up and be a tag team, but they actually, they end up having a match together, and it starts out this really like brutal match where they each do their like 3 moves that they're really good at, and then for some reason like somebody gets a nipple tweak here and someone grazes a crotch here, and then suddenly they start fucking making out hardcore, and then they're like this big angry brutal Billy and Chuck tag team, and instead of getting married, they just they do that Night at the Roxbury thing with their opponents, and they bring back Stan Stansky, and they just like fucking back and forth between each other, and after they win, they penis fence.
Wow.
Right.
Mayhem show makes me feel good.
Wrestlefan, keep it with wrestling. What'd you learn?
Okay, then. I learned from wrestling this week, and if you know me, I'm not a big guy on the whole WWE and BSR blah, 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 blah thing. because I know wrestling is all about, people bullying other people. That's just wrestling. But when Santino Marella rips off Ricardo Rodriguez's suit, and he has a Justin Bieber t-shirt underneath, and they're laughing at him because he's wearing a Justin Bieber t-shirt, I'm sorry, but you're taking it too far.
I don't know. Well, first of all, I'm pretty sure that's a jab.
If you looked at the dictionary of bullying, that is an example. That's the primest example of bullying right there.
I gotta say, first of all, that's a little bit of a jab, probably, because if you guys didn't hear, our friends over at WrestleZone, Justin Lambar, broke that we're not getting Survivor Series, supposedly, because there's a Steelers game that night, and we were going to get a Tuesday SmackDown, but there's a Justin Bieber concert that night. So the whole thing's in turmoil. So put that together, guys. And that's why we saw Justin Bieber.
Hold on. Not only is there a Justin Bieber concert, but there's a Steelers game.
Yeah,
I said that.
Oh, did you? I wasn't listening.
That's why it's Survivor Series.
Wrong!
Oh, I'm wrong!
Wrong!
Hangout! What'd you learn? Go!
I'm going to defer to John for now.
What did I learn? I have no clue. Other than Bugs Bunny offers works.
There you go. Bobby, your turn.
I learned that Sakamoto fell down a flight of stairs.
Well, it's weird and so unexplained. I don't get it. Zero says that he learned that Show's Punch creates a flow of wind that knocks out old men.
He Kusro dot him.
He also learned that in WWE, AJ can fight King, but Ricardo Rodriguez can't fight Layla. There you go. Guys, this is the Wrestling Mayhem Show. Check us out, WrestlingMayhemShow.com, at Mayhem Show. Tag us, hashtag WMS324 for this episode. Check us out on Facebook, on the open group, as well as Google Plus, and maybe you can drop in the Hangout one of these weeks. You can also drop us a line to our email.
Good times!
Good times at WrestlingMayhemShow.com. You can drop us a line at 412-206-WMS0.
Good times.
Go buy the app for a direct line to all the stuff I just said, and exclusive gold content is $1.99 on the Amazon App Store and iOS App Store as well. Check
You buy the app, show me that you bought the app, I'll take my pants off.
There you go.
Nope.
There you go. Recap it. At Chachi says, of course, and he'll DM that to you, so none of the rest of us have to worry about that, I would hope.
Really?
Thanks again to our guest, Gary J, earlier tonight. Thanks to everybody in the Hangout and everybody else. It was a lot of fun. We'll see you guys next week, 8:30 p.m. Eastern at live.sorgatronmedia.com. Mayhem. Mayhem out.
Just wait, just wait, just wait, just wait. Wait for the